Hi, happy Monday. Find my banner. There, look. Hope you're okay. Hope you've had a lovely weekend. Hope you're all very safe from the floods. If you're local, I know you'll have had really, really rubbish time. It's been pretty horrific around here. I don't know if any of you saw the video of my mum walking home from work, like wading up to her thighs. She had to just abandon her car. There's a heck of a lot of houses around me that have been entirely flooded. So I hope you're not affected, and I hope that no one you know is. Anyway, so I've had a training session this morning. So I've run one of my monthly meetups for women in Clown. It was packed, the busiest one I think we've done so far. So if you are a local again, remember there's these to come on if you want to. So today we're going to talk about repurposing old content and how useful and important it is, and like the benefits of it, and why you should really be looking at doing this. And there's loads of reasons. So repurposing content or content recycling is where you take something that you've already got. So it might be a blog that you've written, it might be a Facebook post, it might be an article that you've had published, it could be anything. It could even be some of the copy from your website. And it's where you create something new out of that content. So a really obvious, easy one would be to turn a blog post into a podcast, a mini podcast episode or an audio, or to turn it into a Facebook Live or a YouTube Live or a video that is something that you can share. But there might be times where you've got a social media post and you could change it from a text post into something like an infograph or something like that, an infographic. Some users prefer visual stuff over statistics, others really like statistics. So it's this idea that you can take one piece of your content and edit it and change it up and recycle it in loads of different ways, put it into a different format. And this is something we're probably naturally doing on social media. So generally, how I talk on Facebook is not the same as how I talk on Instagram, and it's certainly not the same as how I talk on LinkedIn. Mine might be quite similar because of kind of who I am. But I will phrase things differently across the different platforms. So I'm already repurposing content to a degree. But it's this idea that is something that you've had for a while, or something you've got that you know isn't working as well as it could be for you, and seeing what else you can create from it. So when you put a ton of effort into a blog, and you're really, really proud of this blog, and then not that many people read it, it can be really, really disheartening. And it's this idea that there are many things you could do with it after that. So you could split it up, and you could use just some of your sentences as Twitter posts, I mean X or whatever. So you could split it up right down to just using single sentences out of it. Like I said, you could turn it into podcasts or audio tracks. You could turn an old blog into a how-to guide and re-deliver it as a how to, don't know, do your SEO into a specific like ebook or a downloadable that you ask for an email address in return. It's stuff like this that makes anybody who missed it the first time have another shot at seeing it, while opening it up to different audiences who want to consume content in different ways, because we all want to look at content in different ways. Like I never watch videos. I would never watch Facebook Live like this. I never watch training videos unless I have specifically chosen to at that time. I would never come across a video and just watch it. It just doesn't fit into my life. But I will read stuff like quite often. So repurposing it allows you to be seen by more audiences. It makes your content more shareable because you're showing you're sharing your knowledge in lots of different ways, and people will share different things. So it makes it more shareable. It reduces the time you spend creating content. And I don't think we talk about this enough. Like to write a properly researched blog post, it can take some time. And it's well worth the effort, but not if not that many people are reading it in that format. And I mean, your blog post, you should be sharing out as evergreen content on social media. You can create a load of different graphics that all link back to the same blog post. So you can be sharing it out in lots of ways. You can put it in your email newsletter, etc. But you could also break the blog up to make your email newsletter or to make some actual shareable graphics as part of it. So it reduces the time you spend creating content because you can recycle and reuse this in so many different ways. And this is not the same as creating duplicate content or like twisting or spinning content. This is very much reusing the stuff you've already put loads of effort into make in the first place. It makes your content evergreen as well. So if you're writing about a topic that you know is something people continually want to know about, allowing it to be put across different mediums makes it there all the time. It makes it a topic that it doesn't matter if it's a few years old, if it's all still relevant and accurate, and it allows it to stay live, like it can just go round and round in your social media schedule. And obviously, by doing stuff like that, it frees your time up for other things, because we'll talk loads about how important content it is. But one of the things that I'm definitely going to get better at, it's one of my Christmas project plans, is going through all my blogs and things like that, where all my long form posts on Facebook, and pulling bits out and starting to recreate them into different formats. Infographics is something I would love to be able to make, but it's having time to do that. And I often say time, really, I mean ideas or inclination. And if I've already got the ideas there in my blog post, then it's something that's really, really easy to do. So there's so many things you could do. You could work with blogs is a really good one. If you're not blogging yet, do. It's really good for your SEO. A PowerPoint presentation. So I've done a session this morning on SEO. Clearly, it's why it's stuck in my head right now. But I could break that presentation down into loads of different social media posts. And in fact, it's very likely that I will. We talk about how Google crawls and indexes a website and how it delivers it back. Breaking that down to social media posts, a dead useful thing. You could make some of your content into top tips. So you could have a top tips guide. You could have a top tips social media post. You could make it into a little video of top tips, and you could either talk on it or you could make it into a video with images and captions on. It doesn't have to be your face if that's not what you want. But yeah, you can make top tips videos. Like I use those quite a lot. You can update existing posts or blogs or bits of your website to tie in with the season or the occasion. I ain't told Jade yet. And I just heard her say, oh God, how dare you? I haven't told Jade yet, but I remade my logo in like a pumpkin for Halloween. And if I've got time, I will change it on some of the stuff that's going out around Halloween, because it's like seasonal and it pulls people's attention. You can do that with blog posts or with your content and change it up so that it's seasonally reflective. And yeah, it draws people's attention much more because you're hooking it onto something relevant, like in the time. Is there anything current in the news that links in to an old blog post or something of yours where you can tie it together? So it's something that you created a while ago, but you can pull it forwards into something now. I've got a couple of articles that I've written for places like Stylist, and there's lots of them about new endings, about endings and new beginnings. So I always pull those out again and recycle them around September, around January, when we're all sort of starting again. So if there's something current going on that you have some content that could be linked to it. We had one of my clients, I talk about her a lot, Donna, does geek fashion clothes. And I think I spoke about this the other week when Michael Gambon passed away. One of my first things was put your Harry Potter stuff up now. Start using that content. Anything you've got about Harry Potter now, because you're jumping onto relevant local news, not even local, national news. So have you got something that you can link in? And that's a really useful way to reuse content. Could record podcasts using info from blogs and presentations. I do these little Facebook Live videos and they end up on YouTube, but I can reuse them on any of my socials. I can get a link and reuse them on any socials. I can put them into my newsletters. The opposite is also true. I can convert any of my lives or YouTube videos into blogs, and I can pull out the text from them, the speech from them, and make it into a blog. And I can do it like backwards in that way. And from there to social media posts to whatever else I want. Testimonials. How many of you have got testimonials sat on Facebook or Google? Pull them out, copy and paste the text out, make some posts around them. You can still make videos if you can get some video ones, but you can still make posts with the testimonial on there and reshare it that way. Turn demonstrations into lead magnets. So if I had a skill, of which I have none, but if I had a skill, if I could make something, I would do a demonstration of how I could make that. I often share how to do like email marketing or whatever. I could make a demonstration either by video or as a guide, and I can create that into a lead magnet so people will swap their email address to get a copy of the video. You can even turn it into a paid for lead magnet if you want to. That's kind of a big thing that's happening right now, is there's lots of cheap lead magnets, so like £7 for whatever it is. And there's lots of templates and stuff out there for £7 or $7 I keep seeing at the moment. And they're just demos or stuff people have done that they've created and turned into a lead magnet and are charging for. And you can make did you know posts from research you've done. So really interestingly is I was delivering a post on World Menopause Day for the Virgin Media O2 Women's Network. And we were talking about your resilient heart. We were talking about your heart in menopause. So there were a bit of cardio stuff in there, but then we were talking about like emotional heart. There's some of the research I did on that and some of the interesting little snippets that I found out in terms of my therapy page, which I don't do much on now. There's so many did you know posts I could make from the research that I'd done for that topic. And there were just so many interesting little snippets too that aren't even relevant, but people like to know. Like, for example, did you know that your wedding ring goes on this finger because there's a nerve from this finger that goes to your heart? So in the olden days, I don't know when that was, in the olden days, that was the reason that it goes onto this finger, is because they believed it like tied that nerve to love. So yeah, very interesting stuff. But you can make did you know posts from research. I've just done a load of top tips posts for like little keyboard shortcuts and things that are useful to my audience, but it's just repurposing stuff that's already there or putting it out there in a different way. So that's it today. It's a short one because I've been out training this morning. Next week is half term. I know lots of people off on half term this week. I think Sheffield and Nottinghamshire are all off this week, whereas Derbyshire's not till next week. So I'm not here next week. And then the Monday after, I've lost my mouse. The Monday after, I am back. Jade, have you no idea what I'm talking about?
I would tell you in time now.
She says she told me, but I don't remember. And then we're co-working. So if you've never been on a co-working session before, it's where we take our laptops to the pub and have breakfast, and we get on with some work, but in a kind of an accountable way where I'm around to help.
Increasing brand awareness.
Oh yes. So the Facebook Live in 2 weeks is on increasing brand awareness, which is a really interesting topic. But then I say that about all my topics because I love them all. So yeah, how you build up your brand awareness, and we'll talk a bit about know, like, trust and some bits of best practice really. All right, so on that, I'm going. Have a fab rest of week. I've only got till Thursday because we've got an inset day on Friday. But this week I'm off tomorrow with my mum. And then on Wednesday, I am running a workshop in South Normanton that's funded for anybody if you want to come. That is around building business relationships and creating customer loyalty. So this is a new one. We haven't run this one before. So I'm delivering that on Wednesday morning in South Normanton. And then on Thursday is Bolsover Council's Business Detox. So again, a business event for anyone in the area. You'll get free breakfast, but you'll have to book it by tomorrow. and you'll just get to network with local business owners, and we've got a couple of speakers on. So I know I'm seeing lots of you, because one of those, certainly, the Busy Detox is really, really busy. All right, so I'm going. Have a fab rest of week. I will see you after half term. If you're off for half term with children, good luck. I hope you survive. I hope Halloween is great and you're not off your head on sugar. Well, they're not, certainly. And yeah, I will see you back here on Monday the 6th. All right, ladies, have a great week, 2 weeks. Bye.